Hello and welcome to Twilight Sessions. My name is Mason and I am a witch, a healer, and a psychic channel and tarot reader. And for the purposes of today's video, I am an Essene, reincarnated on Earth here in the 21st century. Where are we? And today's video is something new. I've never done this before, but I was in the bath earlier after work and I was just having a nice evening to myself after dinner, and I had this sudden call to channel the Essenes. The ancestors, the Essene ancestors are tapping on my shoulder pretty vehemently lately, and they finally tonight said, all right, it's time, let's go. And so here I am. We are going to do a tarot reading tonight, channeling the Essenes, and we are going to see what the Essenes have to say to us. If you are watching this video, there is a very good chance, actually, that you are an Essene as well. And if you don't know who the Essenes are or what an Essene is, look it up. They were basically a Jewish sect back in the 200 BCE and like up to 100 BC, and CE. Sorry. I'm not a historian. It's evening. I should be going to bed right now. But these guides will not let me go to bed. They were preparing for Jesus, basically, is the whole idea here. And my grandmother gave me a book on the Essenes last year, about 6 months ago. This book, The Essenes, Children of Light. Excellent book, highly recommend. You can probably find it like at your library or like on Audible or Spotify or something. But anyway, the Essenes were preparing for Jesus and may or may not have had Jesus in their communities, like may have been like a teacher to him. I don't know. Like, I believe that this stuff is true. Other people don't believe it's true. So do your own research, decide for yourself. Anyway, if you're here, it's probably because you're connected to the Essenes in some way. Powerful group, and I believe that we are rising right now, and coming back, because now is the time of a great planetary shift, a global shift, a spiritual shift. We are becoming enlightened as a globe. And anyway, so I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let the ancestors do the talking because I'm not doing a good job. So with that, settle in, take a deep breath, and let's begin. All right, ancestors, what would you like us to know right now? All right. All right, so first card out of the gate, we've got card number 1, the Magician. So here we are. We are at the beginning of the journey. We are finally at the time in history when we have all of the tools necessary for connection, for, I'm going to call it the rise. I don't know what that means. The rise in vibration. We have all of the elements in place. We've got earth, air, fire, and water. We have a connection unlike anything we've ever had before. The internet has connected human beings and communities in ways that have never been able to be formed in history. So why now? Why are we having this conversation right now? Because we finally have all the tools. We've got the Explorer of Pentacles, and I can't remember right now if that is page or knight. So one moment, please. I was really not planning on doing a reading tonight. This is so funny. Yes, so this is knight energy. Dedication and thoroughness. When you approach goals with a thoroughness bordering on stubbornness, you're activating your inner Explorer of Pentacles. Like the forward-facing bear here, go in the direction that beckons you, even if it seems like you're slogging through the mud. Move at your own pace, but don't let perfectionism result in procrastination. Okay, well, there you go. We are the children of light. We are the we are this little bear. We are coming into our own now. It is time to start moving. Yeah, exploring. I think that the Pentacles was chosen in this instance because of the earth element. And right now we are connected to the earth. The Essenes are a very earth-centered people, very, very rooted in nature. And I'm sorry, the words. We use the earth to communicate, and we are connected deeply to the earth. The ethereal is coming into the earth, into the material realm. And this explorer energy is no longer in infancy, but we are still getting used to this knowledge. So we're not quite at queen or king energy yet. So there is like a newness to this knowledge. There's a newness to this journey. And with this, we've got strength coming out as well. So, yeah, actually, we've got a couple cards all popping out here. So we've got strength, the Elder of Wands, or the King of Wands, alongside the Ten of Cups. So there is strength in community, and there is strength in ourselves. The Elder of Wands, the King of Wands, is a very strong character in the deck. And with the Ten of Cups coming out, that again is like community and wish fulfillment, I'm feeling that there is like this sense of strength that is internal and external. So we've got the earth element and the fire elements coming out here. Oh, and water element. And these are all coming together to create movement, to create change, to create connection. There is the Eight of Cups, and this is following the path. We are following the path that was set out for us. That was set out for us by us 2,000 years ago. The Hermit in reverse, we are done with being in hermit mode. We have been studying, we have been meditating, we have been waiting, basically. We've been basically maintaining the knowledge that we had 2,000 years ago as Essenes. We've been maintaining this knowledge for the past 2,000 years so that it will be here now when it's time, when we are ready, when the world is ready. And there is a lot of stars, a lot of astrology plays a big part in Essene beliefs and culture. So with this reversed hermit, we are coming out of that waiting period. And I would say that kind of all of the cards previous to this card have been pointing to movement. I know that tomorrow I'm going to be thinking about this reading again, and I'm going to know exactly what all of these mean. And right now I'm kind of struggling, so I'm sorry. Excuse me, we've also got the Explorer of Wands coming out, and I think this is exactly what I'm talking about, is like, well, I know what I'm trying to say, I'm not exactly sure how to say it. There is the creative spark. We have the creative spark. We know exactly what we're trying to do. And we are also trying to balance the material and the spiritual. There is like this reawakening happening, and when you're waking up again, it's kind of hard to come back to reality. You're kind of like, whoa, where was I? And I'm feeling a little bit frustrated that I've been living my whole life up until now not knowing that this was part of me or not being able to embrace this side of myself. So I'm feeling a little bit thrown into the deep end right now of like, well, I only just learned who the Essenes are, what the Essenes are like 6 months ago, and now I'm channeling them very fast, and I don't really know exactly why or how I'm supposed to keep up. Yeah, exactly. I'm feeling like the Child of Pentacles here. I'm just a little lost. Just a little baby out here. But that's okay. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is, again, this card is very, it speaks very much to the symbology I kind of picked up on from these readings that I was, the books I was reading about the Essenes. Very nature-based, but also the Wheel of Fortune is spinning. It is now time. It is now time. Oh, and we are moving quickly. You're moving quickly. We're moving quickly along the road. And we've got the Fool popping out here, and then the Ace of Wands, and the Star. Oh, that's very interesting. So, Ace of Wands coming out is the inspiration, the spark. This is the like the unmanifested idea. This is Jude. This is the original thought. Okay, so this is like the inspiration that we're feeling right now, like this call to action. And then we've got the Star coming out. So the Star is our North Star. I also think it's interesting because in the story of Jesus' birth, the Essenes knew that Jesus was born the day Jesus was born because there was some solar event. I just saw 11:11 on my camera just now. There was like this big event. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was an eclipse. And in Dolores Cannon's Jesus in the Essenes, there was a description of Jesus' birth from the point of view of an Essene not at the birth, but like witnessing the astrological event. So I'm feeling that this Star card is representing that moment of like, it's time. I will tell you that the message I've been getting from the Essenes in my own kind of life recently have been that there is no one teacher anymore. Yeah, exactly. The Hanged Man, the Hanged One. There is no one teacher. Because the message, the words that came to me that I really don't like, but the words that I heard when I was kind of like, what do you mean no one teacher? The answer I got was, well, you can't kill us all. So the idea this time is that we all rise together. We all understand this stuff. Like we're all becoming enlightened beings at the same time, rather than waiting for a teacher or a guru to wake us up. We are at a point now in our evolution spiritually as a globe where we can all make that step, that final step to enlightenment by ourselves. We no longer need a teacher to show the way. Or rather, we have so many teachers like online, like I've been saying, like the internet is like this vast web of connection. Books we have, books are so available nowadays, unlike they have ever been in the past. So basically we've got teachers out our ears and the ability to learn and pick up new information. So we don't need one singular teacher anymore. And in that way you can't kill us all. Like you can't stop this movement the way it was stopped before. And the Christians took Jesus' message and took it in a direction that I don't think was intended. I don't think that the Christians have it quite right. But we're not going to go into that. We've got the Ace of Pentacles coming out. And this again is pointing to that earth energy. There's a lot of earth energy in this. Yeah, a lot of earth and fire coming out. With this Ace of Pentacles, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to tell me? Planting the seeds. We're planting the seeds right now. With the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, these are the initial inspiration, the first seeds. I think what I'm hearing is that the seeds were planted and now we are sprouting. That's what the Eight of Wands and the Fool are representing here. Man, even more wands. So many wands. We've got the Seven of Cups coming out. And I haven't seen this card yet in this deck. So fun. I love a new card. Yeah, I have an idea of where this is taking us. We've got options and befuddlement, which is exactly how I'm feeling right now. Thanks, ancestors. The Seven of Cups pours you a mixture of interesting options and empty illusions. Do you feel like the sky is the limit, or do you feel so perplexed that by your options that you're frozen in place? This card asks you what actually feels right and what feels like mere fantasy. Yes. So when it comes to this journey, this enlightenment thing that I'm talking about right now, like these seeds that we're planting, or that were planted and that are now blossoming, this is telling me that, yeah, we've got chaos, we've got chaos, we've got a lack of control, or like wanting to hold on to control. There are a lot of teachers, and it's hard to tell who is speaking the truth. And you're going to be, you, all of us, every person who's on the spiritual journey needs to use their own intuition and know when a teaching that they are listening to is true and when a teaching that they are listening to is false. The devil is coming out, and in this instance, I'm feeling that we're not talking about the actual devil, it's more old ways of being. There are going to be messages that sound intriguing, that speak to the ego. And with the Child of Wands coming out, there's going to be like a spark of creativity, it'll spark your inspiration. Like you'll be like, oh, wow, I love this. This sounds so good. This sounds too good to be true. But with the child coming out, there is like a bit of naivety, a little bit of kind of like flightiness, or like getting swept away in a fantasy. And with the Seven of Cups coming out with like the devil, excuse me, we're basically just being warned, be careful what you believe in. Excuse me again. Be careful what you believe in. Be mindful of what you believe in. And this isn't like a warning of like, be careful who you believe in, but it's more like, just be very thoughtful and really feel into your body. Like when you're thinking about a new belief, does it actually feel good in your body? Or does it sound like something your ego likes? With the Lovers in reverse coming out, this is pointing to a divorce from old ways. There is a no more codependency. There is actually, with the devil and the Lovers in reverse, this is talking about codependency. This is talking about relying on one teacher. That's exactly what this is. And as we know, there is no one teacher, because one teacher can be misconstrued, can be confused for the teaching. The teacher can be confused for the teaching. Jesus was confused for God. We are all God. We've got the High Priestess. We are all God. You know exactly what to do. Judah's now chewing on the tripod. So if you're shaking over there, that's why. He's my little earthquake. So we've got the High Priestess coming out. This is really a card about following your intuition, genuinely. And the High Priestess always knows which cup, which of those 7 cups is accurate, right? This is knowing exactly what is true and what is false. So you don't have to worry. Like you do have it within you to recognize messages that are the devil, or that aren't accurate, or that are half-truths, or too good to be true, or somebody else's ego speaking. That's something I'm being called to remind you, is that any teacher, because we now have so many teachers to choose from and so many messages that are accurate, but just with different language, there are many teachers and many messages that sound right and they look right, but they're not quite there yet. They're still stuck in like the ego realm of the devil. Not because they're evil, but because they're not fully formed yet. Like the message that like a teacher has, or the teacher themselves hasn't quite made it to that place beyond the ego quite yet, which is okay. And so with the High Priestess coming out, we've also got stability with the Four of Wands. And this is really pointing to the fact that your intuition is being supported right now. And with this, I'm hearing that the ancestors are with us. The ancestors are with you. They are supporting you. They are holding you up. Oh, we've got justice and temperance coming out with the Two of Swords, which I think is super interesting. Because both justice and temperance have two sides. We've got a black and a white side with justice, and we've got a hot and a cold with temperance. And with the Two of Swords, we've got a decision to make. And in this instance, I'm feeling that it's the middle path. The middle path is the right path. But you'll know. You'll know the right path when you see the right path. And when I started reading about the Essenes, I knew that they were onto something. Not in like a, oh, these people had it right in their communities. I don't think that their communities don't apply to us anymore. So how they lived is no longer applicable to us. But what they believed and what their messages were are absolutely applicable to us. So justice and temperance right now are pointing to the duality and this need to be discerning. And in the Rider-Waite deck with the Two of Swords, the person in the card has a blindfold on. And with the High Priestess, you don't have to worry about not knowing which path is right. So as you go forward with your journey, and as we as Essenes go forward with our journey, you don't have to worry about choosing the right path, about choosing the just path, or about choosing like the temperate path, because you are being guided by your intuition. And the correct choice will always be made. Also with justice, I'm being reminded to, I'm being told to remind you, to remind us that there is no karma. Karma is a tool of enslavement. And what people think of as sin and what people think of as, oh, you're going to go to hell for that, that is just not how we function anymore. That is an old system of control. So what I'm saying is that if you start doing research on the Essenes, oh, interesting, that's what this whole reading is about, is getting in contact with the Essenes, learning about the Essenes. As you start to do research and understand these people in your own life, no, I was on Google just a minute ago looking at kind of like the AI generated, I just typed in Essenes and the AI generated thing. It was very inaccurate. It was extremely inaccurate to what I know about the Essenes from what I've read and also from what I've just channeled from my own life and like my contact with the ancestors. It said like they made him sound kind of culty or like extreme, and I was like, well, aren't we all though? Like, no. And the one thing that they said was something about being an apocalyptic group, which is in a very inaccurate way of saying that. It's not like the end of the world, like the end times are coming. It is the ascension of the world. And so the ego-driven, like that kind of devil energy would feel like, oh, you're talking about the end times because it's the end of that era, but it's not the end of the world. So we're not talking about like the whole world ending. Like there is no like angel. The angel isn't going to come down and judge every soul based on their actions. That is not going to happen because every single soul is a child of God. Every single being on earth and in the universe is a child of God. We are all God's children, and no one is going to hell. Hell is a vibration. So anyway, know that justice is not what you might read that it is, and it is not like the Christian way of looking at like, oh, you're going to go to hell because you are a sinner. That's not right. There is no righteous, and I think that's where the temperance is coming from. Is like, no, be careful. Like, we are all God's children. There is no right and wrong. There is only what is, and we can all be saved. We are already saved. There is no saving. Like, all souls are saved. I have my favorite card, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, which if you've watched this channel before, this card has come up a few times in reverse, and every time I see it as our roots are going upwards in vibration to our, well, in this case, ancestors, but guides or whatever. So ancestors, guides. Our ancestors and guides are with us right now, and they are connected through vibrations, and they are going upwards in vibrations. So as we go forward, know that we've got the Four of Wands, we've got the High Priestess. It's a very stable connection. Don't have to worry about that. Yeah, and then we've got the Ace of Cups, and this is another ace, so we've got a lot of beginnings coming in. In this instance, I'm feeling that it is a new spiritual journey, a new spiritual path, like a deeper understanding of yourself on an emotional level. And this comes from connecting to the ancestors and following the guides, right? We've got the Three of Wands coming out. Again, as always, this card just keeps coming out, won't stop coming out. I love it. But it is, again, a very soul-guided card. The spirit guides are with you right now, lighting your path. And with the Three of Wands, there is a sense of limitless possibility. So with the Ace of Cups and the Three of Wands here, that is really pointing to a world of expansion and a way forward that is divinely guided. Phew, what a reading. All right, I think I'm gonna have to call that a night because I'm tired and the words aren't coming out anymore. I've run out of steam. Yeah, exactly, Tower, I've run out of steam. But don't worry, I'll be back with more. If you liked this video, if you're curious about the Essenes, if you are an Essene, if you've heard about the Essenes, comment, please let me know if you're there, because I know that I'm not alone, but I don't know many other Essenes other than the ones that I'm related to by blood. So, if you are related to me by blood, go ahead and comment. If you're not related to me by blood and also an Essene, please let me know. I would love to know that you exist. And I would love to know what your ancestors, what our ancestors have shared with you, and if it aligns with what this message was tonight, or if this has led you on any interesting paths. So anyway, I'm so excited to connect with others. Thank you so much for being here tonight, my friends. It has been an honor to be a channel for you tonight. A true honor. I am absolutely humbled that I was tapped on the shoulder so vehemently. And I look forward to continuing this conversation in the future. Until then, my lovely friends, sleep well, be well, have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you in the next video. Blessed be, and may peace go with you. Bye.